There is a secret current of thought, a river of unseen communication that flows between every heart that loves and every soul that longs to be loved. It is not limited by distance, not hindered by silence, not stopped by circumstance. It is the invisible bridge that connects one mind to another, one feeling to another, one desire to its perfect reflection. When you love purely, deeply, and with faith that transcends the senses, that love becomes a telepathic force, a vibration so radiant and magnetic that it draws to you the very person you long for and binds them to you in the unity of consciousness. The telepathy of love is not a fantasy, nor is it an illusion. It is the natural law of mind in operation. Everything in this world begins and ends in imagination. Every meeting, every attraction, every bond, every breakup, and every reconciliation. When you imagine yourself being loved, cherished, desired, and adored by the one you want, you are not daydreaming. You are communicating directly with their deeper self. The self beyond words and form, the self that hears only in feeling. You are impressing upon the field of consciousness the image of a union already fulfilled. You see, all human connection is born in mind. Before the lips speak, the heart has already whispered. Before the eyes meet, the souls have already known. There is no such thing as coincidence when it comes to love. Every encounter, every text, every silence, every return is a reflection of the thought you persist in holding. When you think lovingly of someone, when you persist in seeing them as yours, you are planting seeds of recognition within them. The more you dwell in the feeling of being together, the more those seeds bloom in their own mind as attraction, curiosity, and the irresistible urge to return to you. But here is the truth most do not yet grasp: telepathy in love does not work through force, need, or desperation. It flows through certainty, peace, and the quiet knowing that what you desire is already yours. When you try to make someone love you through anxiety or obsession, you are sending signals of lack and fear. Those vibrations repel rather than attract. But when you rest in the end, when you feel the warmth of their presence, the comfort of their embrace, and the joy of mutual devotion, then your mind becomes one with the mind of love itself, and the person you desire begins to feel drawn, as if by an invisible thread, back to the source of that feeling, you. Love is not a hunt, it is a remembering. When you fall in love with someone, you are not discovering something new, you are awakening to a bond that already existed in consciousness. This is why even after separation, even after silence, something deep within you still feels connected. That connection is real. It is the telepathic line of love, the thread of thought that can never be broken. It is your sacred bridge back to them, if only you dare to believe in it. To use this power, begin not by looking outward, but inward. Close your eyes and enter the state of the wish fulfilled. Feel the scene as though it were now true. Do not wish, do not hope, do not beg. Simply assume. Imagine the one you love sitting beside you, their hand in yours, their eyes filled with warmth. Hear their laughter, feel their heartbeat. Let your mind become so absorbed in this inner experience that the outer world fades away. In that moment, your imagination becomes the place where your union is real. You are no longer longing, you are knowing. This inner scene is not fantasy, it is creation. Every image you sustain in imagination becomes a vibration that travels through consciousness and reaches the mind of the one you love. They may not consciously know why they suddenly think of you, why they dream of you, or why they feel the impulse to reach out. But the cause is the thought you planted in the unseen world. You spoke to them silently, and love answered through action. Do not underestimate the quiet language of the heart. Thoughts clothed in love have wings. They travel faster than speech, deeper than reason, stronger than time. When you imagine your person thinking of you, missing you, wanting to be near you, you are not pretending. You are instructing the universe to bring into form what already exists in consciousness. The one you love cannot resist the energy of your belief, for in the realm of mind, you and they are already one. There is only one mind, and that mind is infinite. When you realize that your imagination is not isolated, but part of the same creative consciousness that animates every being, you understand that communication without words is natural. Every loving thought you send, every feeling of union you cultivate, merges into that universal field and returns as experience. That is the telepathy of love, the power of thought made visible through feeling. Now, many ask, if this is true, why hasn't it worked for me yet? Why do I still feel alone? Why hasn't my person returned? The answer lies in persistence and inner purity. You must persist in the feeling of love, even when the outer world seems to contradict it. You must remain faithful to your unseen union, even when appearances show separation, for what you see now is merely the shadow of old thoughts. Keep the inner vision alive, and soon the outer must conform. Imagine, night after night, the one you love beside you. Feel their warmth, their voice, their laughter echoing in your being. Send them thoughts of peace, joy, and safety. Do not think of them as distant or uncertain. Think of them as already yours. See them happy with you, sharing life, sharing dreams. Every repetition strengthens the telepathic link until the outer world bends to the inner certainty. You must also release the impulse to control how or when it happens. The telepathy of love does not obey the ego's schedule. It moves in divine rhythm, always perfect, always precise. The one you desire will feel the pull when the frequency of your thoughts and feelings matches the vibration of union. Your only task is to sustain that vibration. When you walk through your day, carry the feeling of love fulfilled. Let it live in your gestures, your tone, your smile. When you speak, speak from the certainty that you are loved. When you think, think only what you wish to experience. If a doubt arises, do not wrestle with it. Simply return to the inner scene, the quiet sanctuary of love within you. The imagination is your refuge and your altar. There you commune with the one you love in silence more powerful than any words. Remember, the person you want is not separate from you in the realm of consciousness. Their heart beats in rhythm with your thought. When you think lovingly of them, they feel it. When you send them peace, they become calm. When you imagine them devoted, they begin to feel devotion stir within them. This is not manipulation, it is harmony. You are tuning your mind to the highest frequency of love, and that frequency calls forth its match. Never let fear or impatience pollute your vibration. Fear says, it's not working. Love says, it already is. Impatience says, why haven't they come yet? Love says, they are already here in consciousness. You must choose which voice to believe. The outer world always reflects the inner conviction. When you stop looking for signs and start living as if your union were already real, that's when the miracle occurs. Think of love as a mirror. Whatever image you hold before it is what it reflects. If you see yourself unloved, it shows you loneliness. If you see yourself adored, it shows you devotion. The mirror does not choose. It simply reflects the thought that you most consistently hold. So choose wisely. Hold the thought of love, and the mirror must obey. The telepathy of love works because love is the highest intelligence of the universe. It knows no boundaries. It transcends logic, distance, and circumstance. When you love someone in your imagination without resistance, that love becomes a magnetic current that draws them into alignment with your vision. They begin to see you as you see yourself, worthy, irresistible, and meant for them. This is why it is said that what you assume about another, they become to you. If you see them as indifferent, they must behave that way. If you see them as loving, they will reflect love. You are the dreamer of your relationship, and the dream becomes real when you no longer question its reality. Every moment, you are sending out telepathic signals through the feelings you entertain. If your inner talk is filled with doubt, they don't care. They've forgotten me. It's over. You are affirming separation. But if your inner talk is filled with assurance, they love me deeply. We are meant to be. Our bond is unbreakable. You are affirming union. The universe does not decide, your assumption does. When you understand this, you become free. You no longer chase, plead, or wait. You create. You love in the unseen, and the seen must bow to it. The one you desire cannot resist the pull of your unwavering belief, for consciousness is one, and all hearts respond to the same law. So tonight, before you sleep, let your last thought be of love fulfilled. See them as already yours. Feel them beside you. Whisper to them in your mind, not as someone far away, but as someone already present. Speak silently the words you wish to hear. Let gratitude fill you, for gratitude seals the manifestation. As you drift into sleep, you are planting the seed of that vision in the fertile soil of the subconscious. And the subconscious never fails to bring forth what it has been impressed with in feeling. When morning comes, live from that state. Walk as though your prayer has been answered. Smile as though your love has returned. Think from the end, not toward it. Every time you feel the urge to doubt, return to the inner knowing, it is done. The outer world is merely catching up to your conviction. In time, you will see the evidence. The message, the call, the encounter, the reunion. But it will not feel like something new. It will feel natural, as though it could not have been otherwise. For deep down, you will know that you created it long before it appeared. You will know that love, silent and unseen, bridged the distance and brought your person to you. And when they stay, for they will, remember this: what keeps love alive is not fear of losing it, but the continued practice of inner union. Keep loving them in thought. Keep seeing them through the eyes of harmony. Keep speaking to them telepathically in the language of the heart, a language that says, we are one and nothing can separate us. For as long as you dwell in that truth, your love will remain a living vibration that no external force can undo. The telepathy of love is eternal. It is the song that never stops playing between two souls who have recognized their unity in the mind of creation. Once you know this truth, you are never alone again. You become the master of your relationships, the author of your love story, the dreamer who dreams only what they wish to live. So let your mind be the meeting place. Let your imagination be the home where your love lives. See the one you desire not as distant, but as already with you. Speak silently to them in feelings of joy and security. Trust that your unseen communication is heard. And soon what was once invisible will stand before you in living form. The person you love, drawn irresistibly to you by the telepathy of love, and held by the same power that brought them there. The power of your belief. For love, when imagined with faith, becomes the language of creation. It calls across time and space. It whispers into the heart of the beloved. It says, "Come home." And when you believe completely, they always do. When you live in this awareness, every moment becomes an act of silent communion. You are no longer waiting for messages or signs, because the message has already been sent and received through your inner knowing. You walk through life as one who has already received the promise fulfilled. Your thoughts become sacred conversations, your imagination the meeting ground of souls. Each time you think lovingly of them, you are not longing. You are creating the experience of love itself. The world outside will begin to shift in subtle ways. You will notice small coincidences, their name appearing unexpectedly, their favorite song playing when you least expect it, a feeling of their presence washing over you in quiet moments. These are not accidents, they are reflections of the telepathic bridge you've built. They are signs that consciousness is rearranging itself to mirror your inner assumption. What you hold faithfully in mind must appear. Every human being is more than their visible form. Behind every face, behind every word, there is the same invisible awareness that animates all. When you speak to another in imagination, you are speaking directly to that awareness. The true essence of them, untouched by time or distance. They may not consciously understand why they suddenly feel drawn to you, why they begin remembering moments you shared, or why a quiet affection rises in them. But it is the echo of your thought, the ripple of your feeling returning in kind. This is why you must always send love, not longing. When your thoughts are wrapped in absence, the message that reaches them is lack. When your thoughts are wrapped in fulfillment, the message that reaches them is love. The universe does not interpret your words, it mirrors your feeling. And the feeling of being loved is the signal that magnetizes the one you love to you. In the quiet hours of the morning, or in the stillness of night, close your eyes and step into the world within. Feel the soft glow of affection as though they were beside you. Let every detail be vivid. The warmth of their touch, the calm in their eyes, the ease between you. Do not imagine the process of getting them back. Imagine the end fulfilled. Feel the satisfaction of already having what you want. That feeling is the telepathic message. It speaks to the depths of their mind where no words can reach. In this inner world, you are the cause. The outer world is merely the effect. When you persist long enough in a cause, the effect must appear. You may not see it at first, but every thought charged with emotion sets creation in motion. The subconscious does not forget. It takes the impressions you feed it and molds reality accordingly. The more consistent your inner picture, the more quickly it takes shape. If ever you find yourself slipping into worry or doubt, do not fight the feeling. Simply return to the end. Remember that everything in life is consciousness outpictured. You are never dealing with a person in isolation. You are dealing with your concept of that person. If you change your concept, their behavior must reflect it. See them as loving, loyal, and understanding. Feel them responding to your affection. Hold that picture and live from it. The outer world must eventually conform. You may notice resistance arise. The thought that this cannot be real, that people have free will, that love cannot be influenced. But free will operates only within the framework of one's assumptions. Change the assumption, and the will adjusts to match it. You are not forcing anyone, you are awakening them to the version of themselves that matches your vision. Every soul longs to express love. You are simply inviting them to do so through your certainty. This practice is not a momentary visualization, it is a way of being. Live as if your union were the most natural thing in the world. Let gratitude become your daily companion. Gratitude aligns you with the frequency of having, not wanting. When you thank life for a love that already exists, you are claiming it as yours. The universe responds to the vibration of thankfulness faster than to any prayer of need. There will be days when nothing seems to happen, when the silence feels heavy, but silence is not absence. Silence is gestation. The seed of your thought is taking root beneath the surface. During these times, hold steady. Continue to dwell in the inner reality. Continue to speak silently to your beloved. Say to them in thought, I love you. You are safe. You are free. You are mine in love. These unspoken affirmations vibrate through the fabric of consciousness. They reach the heart of the one you desire and begin to awaken the memory of connection. You may be surprised how naturally events begin to unfold. Perhaps a chance meeting, a message from an unexpected source, a dream that feels more real than waking. These are the threads of reality weaving themselves into the pattern you have imagined. The universe never forgets a clear vision held with emotion. Do not measure progress by time. Measure it by faith. Time is only the delay between the planting and the harvest. The greater your faith, the shorter the interval. Faith is not blind hope. It is inner knowing. It is the calm conviction that what you have imagined already exists and is moving toward visibility. When you rest in that knowing, you release the tension that keeps desire at bay. Some people spend their energy trying to read minds, waiting for signs, or forcing communication. But the true telepathic link is built in silence, through the stillness of belief. The quieter the mind, the clearer the transmission. When your thoughts are peaceful and confident, the message reaches its destination effortlessly. The one you love feels it as comfort, as warmth, as the gentle nudge to move toward you. Every time you choose love over fear, you strengthen that invisible thread. Fear cuts the signal, love amplifies it. You do not need to speak words out loud. You need only to feel the truth inwardly. That feeling radiates far beyond your physical presence. It travels through consciousness, shaping outcomes and guiding hearts. Think of it this way: there is a vast ocean of mind, and every thought you think sends ripples across its surface. When you think of your beloved with joy and assurance, those ripples reach their shore and return multiplied. The energy of love is never lost. It circles back as circumstances, as timing, as the right words spoken through another person. Life rearranges itself to deliver what you have imagined. At times, it may feel as if nothing is changing, but this is when the unseen work is most active. Just as the seed grows in darkness, before breaking through the soil, your manifestation ripens in the unseen. Trust the process. Keep watering it with feeling. Keep feeding it with belief. The moment you stop looking for it, it appears. For in that release, you have truly accepted that it is done. If you wish for the one you love not only to come but to stay, then make love your dwelling place. Do not let fear of loss creep in once they arrive. The same consciousness that brought them will keep them if you remain faithful to the feeling of love fulfilled. See the relationship not as fragile, but as eternal. Feel the connection not as something you must guard, but as something that naturally endures. The mind that created harmony will sustain it, provided you do not revert to old doubts. Every moment you think lovingly of them, you are renewing the bond. You are reminding the universe of your intention. You are sustaining the telepathic dialogue of hearts. Let that dialogue be kind, uplifting, and unwavering. Even in their absence, bless them. Even in uncertainty, love them. This inner constancy is what transforms relationships. Not external effort, but inner steadiness. Sooner or later, your outer experience will catch up to your inner conviction. The person you love will begin to sense your energy, a calm, magnetic assurance that draws them in. They will not know why they suddenly feel safe around you, why they trust you, why they cannot stop thinking of you. But you will know it is the telepathy of love at work, unseen, silent, but irresistibly powerful. In time, you will look back and realize that there was never truly a gap between you and them. The separation was only a shadow of disbelief. Once that disbelief dissolved, you discovered that you had always been connected, that love had never left. What seemed like distance was merely an invitation to remember the power within you. You are the sender and the receiver, the transmitter and the echo. Everything you feel becomes the signal that shapes your world. When your heart is tuned to love, the whole universe becomes your messenger. The one you desire cannot help but find their way to you, for you are resonating at the frequency of their highest truth. Let each breath affirm your unity. Let each heartbeat declare, we are one in love. Do not search outward for evidence. Let the evidence arise naturally. Your inner world is the cause, your outer world the effect. Continue to live from the end, and life will mirror your vision in its perfect time. And so you persist, not in effort, but in faith. You persist in the quiet joy of knowing that what you have imagined is already true. You persist in the feeling of love that knows no opposite. You persist because love, when believed in fully, is self-sustaining. It asks for no proof, for it is the proof. Every whisper of affection, every moment of calm belief, every silent vision of togetherness strengthens the bond beyond measure. It is not about commanding another's heart, but aligning your own with the universal rhythm of love. When you do, all that belongs to you must come, and when it comes, it stays, not through force, but through harmony. You will see that what seemed impossible was always simple to love, and to know that love creates. The telepathy of love is not a mystery to those who understand imagination, for imagination is the true language of the heart. When you feel, you speak to creation itself, and creation, being love, always answers. There comes a moment when the inner and outer worlds begin to merge, when the border between imagination and reality dissolves. You begin to sense that every heartbeat, every thought, every quiet emotion is shaping the world around you. You feel the energy of the one you love before any word is spoken, and you recognize their thoughts as echoes of your own. That is the true experience of telepathy. Not some distant power, but the natural state of unity when you live in the awareness that all minds are one. When you hold your beloved in thought, you are not reaching out to a stranger. You are communing with your own consciousness made visible as another. That is why love feels eternal, because in truth, it is the recognition of the self in another form. Every loving image you sustain is not merely a picture. It is an act of creation. It is consciousness shaping itself into form, emotion becoming flesh, thought becoming touch. You are always radiating energy, whether you are aware of it or not. Every word, every mood, every mental picture sends out a vibration. Most people send these vibrations carelessly, reacting to the world instead of directing it. But when you begin to govern your inner world deliberately, when you choose to feel love, even when appearances say otherwise, then you become a conscious transmitter of energy. You become the center of attraction rather than the seeker of affection. The one you love feels that pull without knowing why. They are drawn not by your words, but by your vibration. The quiet confidence that says, "We are already one." To live this truth is to walk in constant faith. You no longer measure by sight, because sight can deceive. You measure by feeling, by the calm certainty that everything you desire already exists in the unseen. When you maintain that state, the world around you must adjust. The person you love begins to think in alignment with the image you hold. The version of them that exists in your imagination becomes the version that steps into your life. Every time you entertain doubt, you momentarily break the connection. But the instant you return to faith, the line of telepathy is restored. That is why persistence is so powerful. It keeps the signal clear. It keeps you anchored in the vibration of union. Even if days pass without visible change, remain unmoved. Feel the connection alive within you. Speak silently, as one speaks to the soul rather than the senses. The unseen world responds faster than you realize. When you understand that love is not something you must acquire, but something you radiate, you stop trying to pull and start allowing. You no longer chase after what you already possess in consciousness. You rest in the knowing that creation is finished, that the moment you felt love fulfilled in imagination, it was done. The rest is simply the unfolding of that inner event in time. Love has its own intelligence. It does not need to be managed or controlled. It knows where to go, how to move, and when to appear. Your only task is to stay in harmony with it. The more peaceful your heart, the stronger the current. Love does not demand, it invites. It does not force, it flows. When you send out thoughts of peace, of joy, of belonging, those thoughts become living messengers that carry your essence to the one you desire. They may be far in body, but they are never far in mind. Imagine the power of this truth, that right now, even as you think of them lovingly, some part of them feels it. A warmth that rises for no reason, a memory that surfaces suddenly, a desire to reach out. All of these are the responses of consciousness to your silent call. You are not imagining coincidence. You are witnessing the creative law at work. This is why it is so important to remain gentle in thought. Do not send energy of control, fear, or possession, for those feelings distort the message. Send only what you wish to receive. Think of them in freedom, in joy, in fulfillment. See them happy and whole, and know that in their happiness, your own joy is reflected. What you send in consciousness must return magnified. Each time you meditate upon your love, let it be an act of giving. Give the feeling of safety, of affection, of gratitude. Do not imagine them longing or missing you. Imagine them feeling complete in your presence. Feel the comfort of their nearness as if it were natural, because it is. When your imagination becomes so real that you forget it is imagination, the world must catch up to it. Even science whispers fragments of this truth, that thoughts influence matter, that energy responds to attention. But beyond theory lies experience, and once you experience this connection, you will never again doubt the creative power of your mind. You will see that love, when sincerely felt, bends reality. You will feel that your imagination is not fantasy, but the blueprint of existence. There are moments when the longing to be with someone becomes so intense that it almost aches. But that ache is not punishment, it is guidance. It is the signal that you are standing at the threshold of alignment. Instead of resisting it, transform it. Let longing become love. Let desire become gratitude. The instant you shift from lack to fulfillment, the H dissolves and peace takes its place. That peace is the vibration that attracts. It says to the universe, I already have it. And the universe, ever obedient, responds with evidence. Your imagination is sacred. It is the creative workshop of reality. When you imagine from love, you are shaping destiny. Every image sustained with faith becomes substance. This is not wishful thinking. It is the oldest truth hidden behind all miracles. To imagine with emotion is to command creation. So practice daily. In the quiet moments of morning or before sleep, close your eyes and step into the scene of fulfillment. Feel it as vividly as you can. Hear their voice, see their smile, sense the closeness. Stay there until it feels natural. Do not think of it, think from it. Live from the end as though it were already so. That inner world is the real cause of the outer. The more you dwell in it, the faster it becomes your tangible experience. If you falter, remember no thought is ever wasted. Even a single moment of clear, loving imagination is enough to set creation in motion. The law does not require effort, it requires belief. It is your assumption, not your struggle, that determines the outcome. If you can truly assume that the one you love is already yours, then all of life must conspire to make it so. When they finally appear, when love unfolds before your eyes, it will feel like remembering something you always knew. Because in truth, you did. You knew it in the silence of imagination, in the stillness where minds meet without words. You created it not through force, but through faith. You loved them in thought until the world had no choice but to echo your feeling. Keep loving silently. Keep imagining faithfully. Keep trusting that what you feel within is more real than what you see without. For in the end, the telepathy of love is simply the recognition that there is no separation, that to think is to connect, and to love is to create. And so, the message is clear. Love is not a pursuit but a power. It is not a need but a knowing. The telepathy of love is the eternal bridge between two souls who have recognized their unity in consciousness. When you understand that your imagination is the creative force, that your thoughts are living messengers, you stop searching and start becoming. You realize the one you desire is not out there to be found, but within you to be felt. The moment you choose love over fear, faith over doubt, fulfillment over longing, you activate the unseen law that bends all reality to your belief. You become the cause, and the world responds as effect. The person you love begins to move, speak, and think in harmony with your inner vision. What was once distant becomes near. What was uncertain becomes inevitable. This is the strong truth. Your love, when imagined and believed, is irresistible. No wall of silence, no distance, no circumstance can stand against it. For love, in its purest form, is the mind of creation itself, powerful, eternal, and self-fulfilling. So walk in that power. Feel the truth that you are already one with the person you love. Let your heart speak in silence, and your imagination write the story. For the telepathy of love will always bring to you the one you desire. And when it does, that love will stay, because it was built not on chance, but on the unshakable foundation of consciousness.